always, this podcast does not contain any financial advice, either from the podcast owners or its guests. We are, however, smooth-brained apes who just love the stock.
Welcome to the Great Escape. We're back. Hello, we were expecting you. It's been away for so long.
Guess it's back again. Oh,
Hi.
Samuel's back.
I am.
It's a friend.
With a beard growing like that.
That is there's birds nesting in that bad boy.
Yeah, a variety of woodland creatures, which reminds me very much of what was it? Ass sunning, butthole sunning.
Butthole sunning.
Woodland creatures back then, yeah.
That was
a long time ago. We've not mentioned butthole sunning for a while.
Episode 2, methinks. Episode 2 was butthole.
Stray Man returns.
Yes, he's not lost it. He's not been. We've not been live for a while, but we've not lost it. That's always good. It's always good that we've not lost it. You what, sorry?
Mentally, we've lost it a bit.
Oh yeah, we lost that years ago, mate. Yeah. It doesn't count. I need a pen. Let's find a pen.
Here you go.
Look. Thanks, mate. It'd be cool if I actually
it would have actually planned that. That'd have been awesome. Visual gags.
Let me see if I can find a pen. Hang on.
I always get mixed up my left and my right on the camera because I'm reversed. So it's like,
that works. Does pen work? It does.
Okay, ready, Col? Here you go, mate. Here's a pen.
Hang on. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Shit.
Hang on. Shite at that.
Hang on. Thank you very much for the pen. It's very different on the other side of the screen.
That's what happens in cyberspace. Changes a little bit.
No.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you reckon, should I shave the beard or should I keep growing it?
I like it, but then again, I asked you to grow your handlebar tash for my wedding, and you did an amazing job of growing a handlebar tash. So I quite like it. We should ask the chat. What do you think?
Yeah, if anyone's out there, should I grow it or should I shave it?
I'd be surprised if anyone joins the chat because we've not done the podcast for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, and we were very scatty before that as well.
We were a bit sporadic before that as well. So if anyone joins us, then hey, awesome! Thank you for joining us, and we're back. We're back with a vengeance.
Well, not quite a vengeance. We're back with maybe a trickle. Get back into the groove, into the flow.
Fair.
Yeah, if I dive off quickly, I'll if I just leg it out of the room at any point, I've seen those scropes in my back garden again. I've got 2 dickheads who keep jumping my fence and running my back garden. I don't know who they are. What is running a case in the joint? But it's okay because I'm drinking beer. So
just throw your beer bottle out the window and hit on that.
No, there's still beer in it.
Oh, we'll drink it first, obviously.
Just throw one of my kids out the window before the beer bottle.
Oh, how civilized am I?
Very civilized.
And then I'm not civilized because I've got shipyard ready. I got my shipyard.
Shipyard. That's good. Good ale. That good ale.
No, it is good ale. It is
the
good
office
ale.
is looking very cool.
Thank you very much. You were here. You were here a few weeks ago.
I was
with the Whiskey Pies and Lies team.
Yeah, and I was amazed at how much tech you've got in that office and how many lights and stuff. You're such a geek.
I am. You know I am. Right? I'm such a geek. I've got a light there. I got a light there. I've got obviously got all this. I got a little Tetris stuff thing going on here. I got me Pac-Man, and then I've got Blinky or Winky or Pinky or whatever it's called. He changed it. Look, he changed his colour. Look, really. Changed colour in a second.
He's going white. He's going white. That's a ghost.
He's gone.
Yeah, I've got a snowboard on the wall.
And green.
And a bookcase full of shit behind me.
Bookcase full of shit.
Yeah, live and unedited.
I've also got a bookcase full of shit. I'll be honest. It's just you just can't see it. It looks all serene. But the office is a poop hole. Honestly, if I moved the camera around, you'd be upset with me.
When you open that little door, they just like tons of crap falls out.
Oh,
it's like
it's like
of don't do it, go.
It's cables and all sorts of stuff in there. You don't want to go in there.
The snake pit.
Power and cables and stuff, access points and things. Anyway, enough of how disorganized my office is. How are you and what are you drinking?
I'm very well. Tired, working hard, looking forward to MOASS hitting, so I don't have to work hard anymore.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Work hard, but in things I want to do rather than having to work to pay bills and shit. But yeah, other than that, I'm good. I'm still enjoying the job. I'm going back to college. Back at college. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm going back to college. Well, I am back at college doing carpentry and joinery. Sawing, hammering, and chiseling.
How many lessons have you had now?
I'm on my 5th week. It's nothing I've not done before, but I've not got any qualifications in it. So I'm just getting the qualifications. So get that little slip of paper, put it on the CV. Job's a good one. And
nice.
To finish off the question, I'm drinking Guinois.
Guinois? Original?
No, that is, original. It's like a portery one. It's a bit fizzy. And then
original ragamuffin.
Then I've got an old crafty hen. That me old crafty hen. That chick.
Well, your video went a bit funny then, but it's fine. You're back with us, I think. Back in there.
Don't tell me freaking broadband's going
you're fine now. You're all right. You're good. You're back again. You went a bit.
Old crafty hen.
Did you watch
Moreland Breweries?
Just to change
Sponsors Moreland Breweries.
Just to change the subject very slightly. So we're doing another podcast at the moment called Whiskey, Pies and Lies, and we did one last Saturday, and Maori Dave had some major tech issues. So just to well, we're just chatting shit now, but Dave was like, I've got an amp and I've got a good mic, and he's basically got all the gear. And we're like, oh, Dave, you're sorted then. You're sorted. I was worried about everyone else, thinking, oh, maybe the mic's going to be shit. Maybe the cameras are going to be shit. Anyway, everyone else came on. Everyone's mic was perfect, and everyone's camera was perfect. It was just great. Dave came on, all the gear. None of it worked. It just didn't work. and we couldn't wait. We were 15 minutes late anyway, so we thought, right, sorry, we'll just start doing what we do. And then Dave sort of joined 2 minutes later, and he's all over the place, and it's all delayed. Anyway, it had something to do with Safari. I think Restream and Safari don't work very well together. And so every time he spoke, it was like he was doing, "Want to fight? Fight me," type of thing like that, right? And Dave was getting Dave was getting so annoyed. He apparently he shut down the stream and had a massive tantrum, and then came back and went, I'm using Chrome now. Is it working? We all like, yeah, it's working. Everything's working again. So yeah. Anyway, there you go. So Whiskey, Pies and Lies.
We had a Zoom chat in lockdown where we all got together every week and had a quiz. And Dave ended up getting so drunk he passed out naked in front of the camera. One of us had to ring his wife. They married? They're not married yet. His missus, who was upstairs, to come down and check that he wasn't dead or something.
He literally just passed out. He must have drunk about a bottle and a half of whiskey.
He did. He drank a lot.
He passed out.
I'm still mentally scarred from that, just seeing his naked body flop to the floor. And
it was his naked body flopped to the floor, and basically his ass was on the screen. You can see his arsehole was there and everything. It was fantastic. So anyway, there you go.
Fucking random.
TMI, but we talked about that on the podcast, on the Whiskey, Pies and Lies podcast. And he's like, nope, not going back there again. I said, hey, Dave, I've got the video. I've got the video here. And he's like, no, don't you dare play it.
So how are you and what are you drinking?
I have just, I'm fine. Same as you, working like ridiculous hours. Basically told my boss that I didn't want to do my job anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was really honest with him. I said, listen, I don't like my job, because I got promoted last year, and into a role where it was more sort of inwardly facing to the company, sort of setting strategy and running like a big old sales team. And I turned around to him a couple weeks ago and went, don't want to do this anymore, mate. And he was like, right, okay, well, what are you doing then? And I was like, I don't know. I want my old job back. Can I have my old job back?
I really enjoy my old international man of mystery.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have my old job back, please.
I want to be. I want to be a hod carrier at Legoland. Lumberjack in a bonsai farm.
It's Steve.
Evening, boys. Evening, boys.
Now, Steve has got a headset that works really well and worked first time. No messing about from Steve.
Yeah.
No messing about.
Steve's got a good head set.
He has got a good headset. Anyway, we're 11 minutes in. We've not done anything. Oh, I'm drinking. I've just opened up a Shipyard Pale Ale. I just had a glass of red wine. To finish off. Oh, pardon me.
Steve, what do you reckon? Shave the beard or let it grow? Type comments. Right. Should we do some stonk related news, or should
let's do some stonk related news? So, welcome to.
It is the Great Escape.
It is the Great Escape, man.
2 dudes doing your DD.
2 dudes doing your DD. The podcast that talks apes talking about apes. Podcast for apes by apes, as it says on the screen there.
Apes by apes for apes from apes. Shave it, dude. Nah, Steve, keeping it. Thanks for your input, though.
Right, we're back. We've not been around for a few weeks. We've been getting a lot of grief online, and we're back, and we're doing podcast stuff, and I think we better start. Should we start where we said, should we start at the beginning?
We already had. Did we not start at the beginning when we started at the beginning?
Yeah, that's
12 minutes ago.
Let's do 5 and 5 then. You ready?
Yeah, press the button, Col. It's time for 5 and 5. Yes, it's time for 5 and 5. Still love it. Still love it.
I love the 5 and 5 video. It is my absolute favorite video. I think I like Kenny one still. I think Kenny's little wink at the end, like, I'm a cheeky little sausage. I am. Yeah, cheeky little sausage. Yeah, I like that bit.
He's not cheeky. He's not a sausage. He's a very naughty boy.
He is a very naughty boy. He's been up to lots of naughty things. He's also been buying lots of real estate in Florida.
Has he?
A lot of real estate in Florida. Yeah. Did we talk about this?
We did. I think we did talk about this.
We did. I think that's the last thing we talked about, wasn't it? Because I've got a set of notes from September, which was meant to be podcast 44. But this is podcast 44 because we didn't do it.
Yeah. Wasn't there some like loophole with the real estate in Florida? How you could get out of if you went bankrupt, you could keep it or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it? I can't remember now.
Yeah,
that long ago, and I've slept and drank heavily and worked hard.
Right, 5 in 5. We have ready. Here are the options. We've got 5 in 5. We've got grassed up. We've got Ketamin required stat. How big is BBIG? Pensions? Pfft, you don't need pensions. Global thermonuclear finance meltdown.
Good voice. I was like a movie theater, movie trailer.
Oh, it is. Well, we're obviously going to talk about AMC.
Oh, mate. Right. This is a proper dad joke, but when we go to Wales at Caravan, we pass, I forgot what the name of the company is, but it makes trailers for, trucks and tractors and vans and everything. And I said, we're driving close, we get closer to it. And I said, this place down here, to my wife, this place down here, they're going to make a movie about it. She's like, really? I was like, yeah, it's like 24 hours in the day of it. It's just like a documentary, like film. It's like, really? She was, yeah. And just as we passed it, she goes, what do you reckon? I said, I don't think it'd be any good, but the trailers look fantastic. Just as we passed all the trailers, she goes, you're an absolute dickhead, you are. I was like, perfect comedy timing. She's like, you're a knob. Then the kids are like, what does knob mean? Oh, okay.
Nothing, ignore your dad. Yeah,
it's what you open cupboards with, guys.
And the last one, thank you, is the problem with the problem. So we've got grassed up, Ketamin required stat, how big is BBIG? Pensions, pff, you don't need pensions. Global thermonuclear finance meltdown. And the problem with the problem.
Okay, right. I'm going to choose because we've not.
You choose first.
I've not seen or listened to the problem yet, so let's talk about that. Oh, fucking hell. Now I'm getting excited. The problem, because I like Jon Stewart, and the problem's quite good.
Do you know what? I like Jon Stewart as well, and I have
quite
to say,
quite a likable character, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's quite relaxed, and he tried to inject a little bit of humour into the interview that he did this week. So, who was the interview with, Sam?
The shitbag Gary Gensler.
Who?
Gary.
Gazza?
Gary Gensler, shitbag.
Big Gazza, the shitbag. Let's find out. Correct. It was Big Gazza, the shitbag. So have you seen it? Did you watch it?
Nope, not seen any of it. Not even listened to it or watched it or done anything.
I watched it. I watched it today because, I wanted to come prepared for the podcast. And
yeah, that's where I
honestly
severely lack.
It's fine.
Preparedness.
It's fine. Between us, we've got it covered. When I say between us, I mean me. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm just here. Your sounding board. Someone to answer back and actually have a conversation rather than talking to yourself.
Exactly.
So I bring the beard, so it's all good.
Oh, what's? Oh, Steve. Okay, you've gone for Ketamin. We'll do Ketamin next, mate. We'll do Ketamin next. So 5 in 5. The problem. So we've got Jon Stewart, as you know, is the comedian talk show or ex-talk show host. He's not doing his talk show anymore. Doesn't want to do his talk shows anymore. And this guy called Gary Gensler apparently is the chairman of the SEC. Yeah. Apparently, the SEC are meant to protect retail investors.
He's some dude who does something with money.
Barely. Let's be honest, barely. Yeah. So the problem with Jon Stewart. So at the problem. Exciting news. SEC Chair Gary Gensler will be on our podcast next week. Anything you want Jon Stewart to ask him, drop your questions in here and listen to the episode on October the 12th. So this was yesterday. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can go and listen to it. Nice work, mate. Nice work. What happened is that Gary turned up. He talked about transparency, greater transparency, blah, blah, blah. And other stuff. And he basically decided to, whenever he got asked a difficult question, he kept saying to Jon Stewart, well, let me just go back a stage and let me explain this to you. And he would literally just dodge the question. So within the first 5 minutes of it's an hour's edited podcast that I watched. Within the first 5 minutes, you get the gist of the rest of the podcast, which is, I don't have enough resources. I'm all for greater for transparency. I'm with the retail investors. I hear what you're saying, blah, 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 blah. Now, Jon Stewart got 3,000 questions sent to him. So we're either on Twitter or on Reddit or directly sent to him and his team. 3,000 questions sent in of relatively the same sort of thing. Talk about dark pools, talk about fail to delivers, talk about
PFOF and whatnot.
PFOF and GME and all that nonsense. So every time he answered the question, so John would ask him a question and he'd come back with, we don't have enough people to do that. And generally the narrative was along the lines of, we're not going to go for the big boys because they'll just shoot us down with all their legal teams and they'll just kill us by attrition and we can't dedicate people to doing it, basically. So it's like,
the big boys can do what they want with no no consequence or
commitment. But it's all for transparency. All for transparency. So when John said to him, so what are you going to do about this transparency thing? He went, well, and it was funny. He just went, like looking all over like,
put more windows in.
We didn't finalize it, and we're going to come back to it next year. It's like John was like, looks at it and went, like, you dickhead. You just like, so we've not finalized what we're doing for transparency. But he kept saying 90% of the trades that go through the exchanges are all going to non-lit exchanges and everything. It's like, wow. So you're not going to go and chase anyone. You've admitted that you want to do transparency, but you can't be arsed doing it. It's pretty much what he said.
The big boys aren't allowing it.
Exactly.
You actually work for.
Exactly. And when he was asked about, so this is something that I saw from Dave Lauer earlier in the week. This week, UBS was fined $3 million in 2 actions by FINRA and FINRA. The actions were straightforward. They did not properly close out their FTDs. They sold stock that they did not have. And when they did not deliver that stock for 9 years, it was $3 million, just a $3 million fine, right? $3 million fine for 9 years of failed FTDs. So that is basically
billions and billions of profit, and they get fined $3 million.
Yeah, they can do what they want with that. They can create stock from it. They got fined $3 million. So John brought this up on the interview with with Gary Gensler, and the first thing Gary said was, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't have the exact numbers here in front of me." And John went, "I do. It was $3 million."
What did Gary say to that?
Gary was like, "Oh, look at the ceiling. Look at your shoes." Oh, right. Okay. Well, thanks for that, John. And then he just changed the subject. Oh yeah, well, this and that. And he just did not answer the subject at all. And it was just a complete waste of everybody's time. Literally, just listen to the first 5 minutes and you get all the narrative you need to hear from the whole thing. Anyway.
He has got a face you want to slap, really, hasn't he?
Exactly. So Gary went on to Twitter, like he does. Gary Gensler. Yesterday, I had the chance to sit down with the Problem to talk about equity market structure and a number of other topics. Check out my conversation with John Stewart on the podcast today. And as you can see, it got ratioed. This was early on yesterday. And then all the memes came out. So we had so his Gary. Oh, hang on.
Go on, Col. Technical issues.
Whoa. There's Gary, and then all the memes come. So this is from @Lonson T. Gary Gensler is a bad meme. 350 days and nothing. The majority of market, blah 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 blah. Everything he said, basically, everything goes through doesn't go through the exchanges. 90% of stuff doesn't go through the exchanges.
Free and fair, my ass.
Well, that's what John was saying.
Absolute corrupt bastards, a lot of them.
And then Alan Hardistry, so Wall Street is corrupt @Alan Hardistry. Sorry, Alan _Hardistry said, "We have, and you came off an even bigger clown than we thought. Not enough funds, costly lawsuits. Just enforce the laws you have at your disposal to ban PFOF, and then fight that in court. Make a start at protecting investors, not aiding crime." Absolutely perfect, Alan.
Yeah. Spot on.
Perfect. There you go. I can make it bigger. Look at that. There you go. Look at that.
If you went after one of the big boys and made an example of them, that would deter the little boys from doing it. Stop it at the pinnacle of all this shit. Chop the top off.
Chop it off.
Judo chop.
Judo chop.
They're not bothered. They're not bothered. They're not going to do anything. We know they're not going to do anything. They haven't done anything. They won't do anything. Fuck them. We'll just wait.
They're not going to do anything.
Time, HODL the shit out of it all, and
they are not going to do anything. And we're going to come on to
wait until GME is 100% DRS, and then see what happens then. We're like 55% now, aren't we? We're approaching
55% and increasing. There was a big old conversation about this on Twitter last week about how it was ramping up quite quickly, and there was a big old push, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway. And this is from Jorge Riviera @Real Jorge Riviera. "You have failed us, John Stewart. That interview was clearly a publicity stunt. Gary Gensler is a coward and avoids the actual problems. This again was theatre to make it seem like somebody cares. Gary does not care. John does not care. Actions, not words, @the Problem." So that was quite a damning indictment from Jorge.
But without seeing it, I'm not going to comment on that because I've not seen it, so I can't. Have an opinion. So,
I included this comment because I thought a lot of people thought that, because I saw a lot of comments saying, "John, you didn't ask the harder questions," but no, he did. He did ask the harder questions. He went on there and he talked about PFOF. He talked about dark pools, not lit exchange. He talked about GME specifically, and he did. I thought he did a good job. I mean, it's a huge subject, right? Where do you pinpoint your focus?
Yeah, and you can't press the shitty points that he doesn't want to answer, because you'll get up and walk out, and then you've got no interview.
Well, I also think I said this last time they interviewed him a year ago. I think
was that a year ago?
Yeah, that's what Gary said at the beginning of the interview. He goes, "Thanks for having me on again. I think last time I was here was about a year ago," and it was about a year ago.
What? So no way was it?
Apparently so.
Shit.
Well, that's what Gary said anyway. So anyway,
nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's wrong on most things. He lies about most things, and
it's true. Yeah. He does lie a lot. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. So not everyone was very happy about how it went.
Well, I shall watch it and form my own opinions.
Well, and it sort of got worse from there on in. So anything Gary did for the 24 hours after the podcast came up, everyone just went a bit bonkers with him. And so this is something completely different. Today, the commission approved. Today, the commission approved rule amendments that will bring out electronic record-keeping requirements for intermediaries in line with technology innovation. I mean, really? Come on. All right. So, Bruce Wayne, so that's a friend of the podcast, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. AMC supporter. What the fuck are you talking about? This month, cyber probes inject liquid moon sperm from rocks and dinosaurs while markets sweep candy from Play-Doh and cat piss. That's what I got from you.
And it makes more sense, Bruce. That makes more sense than what anything Gary said.
It just made me piss my pants.
Liquid moon sperm.
Moon sperm.
Moon sperm.
It was good. Yeah. There he is thinking about moon sperm.
It's hard to say, isn't it? You keep saying moon sperm rather than moon sperm.
Moomin sperm. That's very different.
That's ruined my childhood, that. Think about moomin shagging. Resign. Face with you.
There you go.
Who's that from? That's good.
Gary Gensler resign. I forgot. Hang on. It was from
there you go.
Sean Daddio. At Sean Daddio. There he is.
I agree with you, Sean.
Yeah, Gary Gensler resign. Take Hester Pierce with you.
You just take Hester Pierce out. No, we don't incite violence on this podcast.
We do not incite violence on this podcast. That is very true.
But if you want to slap her on the way out, then go on.
And just to sort of finish off this the 5v5 with Gary and the problem with the problem. People were just giving the SEC and Gary like no room to maneuver whatsoever. So Ween Shilliams at TMF Scam, Dear Diary. Now we have at Gary Gensler and at SecGov deleting tweets. So they tweeted something. Ween Shilliams decided that he was we had about. And they deleted it. So whatever it was obviously quite decisive and divisive. Sorry, and people jumped all over it, and then they decided to delete the tweet. This is a government agency. It's a government agency deleting tweets. Why would a government agency delete a tweet? Why,
Because they can't afford the edit button in Twitter. Is it $4.99 a month?
Is it really?
Yeah, I think you've got to pay. You got to subscribe to it to get the edit button, but you've only got half an hour to edit, I believe. That's what I read. I can't remember where I read it. I heard it on the radio, actually. Yeah,
$4.99 to edit your tweets.
Yeah. No, get Disney Plus or something. Watch Encanto. Much more.
Exactly.
I like Twitter without edit, apart from spelling mistakes that I do a lot of. But it's either you tweet it or delete it. That's it. There's no
tweet or delete
around. It's it's unedited, like we are.
Tweet or delete.
Tweet.
There you go. There you go. Right. I'm going to go straight to Steve's one, which was this one.
I can hold a pen in my beard.
Wow. Hang on a second. Did you steal my pen?
Got it here, Col.
Can you pass it me?
Yeah, there you go, mate. You get it?
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Mate. After 6 tries, we've nailed it. That doesn't really work well for the podcast guys, but visual.
No, it doesn't. It's terrible. It doesn't work at all well for the podcast guys. If you listen,
timestamp it, guys, and come and watch the stream, and you'll see what happens.
Yes, it's 30 minutes in. We're only 30 minutes in, mate.
Holy shit! We've done like 1 out of the 5 in 5. And nothing else. Okay, move on.
Time for 5 in 1 in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but let's get some ketamine in us, which will really
ketamine. Right, let me find the story. So. This is a story from the New York Post that I saw yesterday. I just thought I'd inject a little bit of humor into the podcast. So let me share this. So, stressed Wall Street execs flock to ketamine therapy sessions. I'll read it for you. I'll read it for you.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Therapies. Oh, okay, let me zoom in for you. It's mostly adverts on his page. There we go. Therapies, a trip for these Wall Street executives. Wealthy stock traders are flocking to a Manhattan-based Ketamin therapy practice that doles out the hallucinogenic drug in a lavish setting to treat depression, stress, and burnout syndrome, according to the psychiatrist who runs it. The Jeff Ditzel Psychiatry Center in the Financial District illegally doses patients with the drug, best known as psychedelic party flavor, via 6 drip via
IV drip, you wally.
Oh yeah, IV.
Intravenous. 60 colon.
I thought they were being clever and going for Roman numerals and that, and
there should be a full stop between the IV. I'd have thought, proper grammar.
Yeah,
not yeah.
I mean, this is prestigious New York Post. This is not like a backwater media outlet. Shit rag. Yeah.
Shit rag. Yeah.
Via
a 4
IV drip for $750 a pop. Ditzel told the Post Wednesday. We see a lot of Wall Street traders, Ditzel said, adding 30 to 40% of his clients work in the finance industry. You could say that they're coming in droves. It's a high-stress job, and these are humans. These humans are performance-driven. Wow. It makes them sound like a doctor or nurse or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
During the sessions, patients slip on headphones and recline in pot-like leather chair while surrounded by abstract art, plants, aromatherapy, and an alien that jumps out at you saying, "Moon sperm."
Yeah. I'm going to inject you with my 4 moon sperm.
Moon sperm. Yeah, indeed.
Sniff my cat piss.
There you go. Look at that.
Looks pretty cool. Pretty.
I'm loving all the LEDs and shit.
Yeah.
That looks cool. I need to get one of those.
If you're tripping your box off, it looks fucking brilliant.
It would, wouldn't it? Like you get some flashy lights on and a little moon alien coming out with moon sperm.
I'm a spaceman.
Is that it? Is that the whole thing? No, it's not. Okay. The experience of the infusion is enjoyable for most people. It's mildly psychedelic, he said. If you pay attention to warmth, lighting, comfort, get a better effect. Well, there you go. He's done a good job, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's done a good job there.
Obviously, using different ketamine than I tried. Yeah,
allegedly.
We'll leave that there. No,
allegedly. In the majority of people, it works and rapidly, Ditzel said, adding there's often a 50% reduction of stress and anxiety. Well, when you're off your tits, there generally is. I mean, 50% is it all.
50% reduction of stress and anxiety, but 100% influx of fucked upness.
89.682% of an alien jumping out shouting moon sperm. Moon sperm.
That's the title of this week's podcast, Moon Sperm.
Moon sperm. Patients wear a sleeping mask while receiving a 40-minute long infusion of the drug, which was first used as a horse tranquilizer and has since been shown to help some cases of depression and post-traumatic stress. Well, that post-traumatic stress hasn't quite happened yet, Wall Street people, but it's coming. We'll move on to that story in a second. Ditzel's clinic has attracted scores of executives from nearby Wall Street who want to hack their neurochemistry with performance-based coaching in order to boost productivity. Wow, this is like being at work.
Yeah.
Ditzel said many patients supplement the infusions with talk therapy for an additional fee.
Wow. I wonder how much of that has been redacted. Most of the patients supplement their therapy with cocaine as well.
Yeah. Coke and a hooker's
on the
ass.
18th floor of the Citadel building, as proven by drone footage.
And hookers' asses are definitely involved at some stage. The experience of the infusion is enjoyable for most people. Mildly psychedelic. People with debilitating depression should not be working in Wall Street. I'm just going to call that out. Who have unsuccessfully tried other forms of treatment can legally do ketamine at clinics in New York and across the US. It's a Schedule 3 drug, but can be prescribed off-label treatment for depression in private clinics.
Do you think Schedule 3 is the same as our class, like Class A, Class B, Class C?
Yeah, I'm guessing so. Class C, yeah. It's a Class A, I think, in the UK. Could be wrong.
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure.
I think it was in. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In recent years, ketamine clinics has popped up in New York at a rapid rate, along with other US cities like Houston, Miami, Los Angeles, and Seattle. There you go.
Moon, sperm, and ketamine is a title.
Moon, sperm, and ketamine. Ketamine, moon, sperm.
Moon, sperm.
Amazing. Well, anyway, his clinic looks pretty cool. Looks nice and relaxed and chilled.
And beards. Moon, sperm, ketamine, and beards. There you go.
And pen action.
Magic pens.
Do you want your pen back?
Oh, go on then, yeah. Oh, which way? Hang on. Oh, this way. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. The power of the tinterwebs. It's amazing what they can do with the
It's crazy shit, this, isn't it? It's like that one.
Shit.
Oh!
Wow.
I know. It comes naturally. I can't help it.
I am.
Right, come on. 40 minutes in. We've done 2.
The listeners of this podcast had no idea what you've just done, but it was amazing. Listeners of the podcast, it was amazing. He put a pen in his ear and it came out of his mouth. Unbelievable. Don't know how it happened.
Crazy. It's all like ketamine. It helped me do it.
It's all like ketamine, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. We've got grassed up.
Yes.
How big is BBIG? Pensions. You don't need pensions. And global thermonuclear finance meltdown.
Grassed up is Dave Lauer, isn't it?
It is. It's Dave's story. It was very funny when I read it.
Because we've not spoken about Dave for a while, and I've not seen any of his tweets recently.
I've seen quite a few.
I think my algorithms are completely fucked up.
I have seen quite a few.
Many of the usual suspects for a while, but then I'm not going on Twitter that much. I'm just very zen about the whole thing. Like, yeah, it's going to happen. You are here, VW styley.
Oh, stop it! I tagged you into that yesterday.
I know. I can't believe you did that because you put it back in my head. So now you are here, Col.
So this is from Dave Lauer. This was a story actually from a few weeks ago, but we've obviously not done the podcast for a few weeks. But I wanted to use it. It's another funny story that Dave has found. And Dave's comment on this originally was, "What?" And that was my view of this when I read it. So you ready?
That's a yes in there.
Strike myself in. It's funny. One of the offices Flynn contacted was that of Senator Grassley. So this is the story explains it basically. This Senator Grassley, who was in the midst of his own battle with the SEC, frustrated with the agency's failure to punish major players on Wall Street, the Iowa Republican had begun an investigation into how the SEC follows up on outside complaints. Specifically, he wrote a letter to FINRA, another regulatory agency, to ask how many complaints it had referred to the SEC about SAC Capital, the hedge fund run by reptilian billionaire short seller Steve Cohen. SAC has long been accused of a variety of
improprieties.
Thank you. From inside trading to harassment. But no charge in recent Wall Street history is crazier than an episode involving SAC executive named Ping Jiang. I'm sure they made these fucking names up. However, Ping Jiang is going to be a comedy entry to our write-up later, who was accused in 2006, you're going to love this, of enacting a torturous hazing program. According to a civil lawsuit that was later dropped, Jiang allegedly forced a new trader named Andrew Tong to take female hormones, come to work wearing a dress and lipstick, and have foreign objects inserted in his rectum. And allowed Jiang to urinate in his mouth. I am not making this up.
So Ping Jiang peed on Tong's tongue.
Write that down. It's just ridiculous. Oh God. Yeah, Jiang Liu alleged forced a new trader named Andrew Tong to take female hormones, come to work wearing a dress and lipstick, and have foreign objects, inserted commas, inserted in his rectum, and allowed Jiang to urinate in his mouth. Wow.
Yeah, that's
He needed to go. He needed to go to that therapy clinic and just relax on some ketamine. Exactly.
That's a pretty fucked up day at the
I'm
office,
not sure.
really, isn't
I'm not
it?
sure ketamine would have worked. I've been like, man, sent him even crazier than he was.
Well, maybe Jen was just really lazy, and he used Tong when it say foreign objects up his butt. There was a pencil sharpener up there, and he just used to sharpen his pencils, and he couldn't be asked to the toilet, so he'd pee in his mouth. You know, it's like a urinal and stationary cupboard all in one.
It's bonkers. So when
I'm just thinking it out loud, you know, because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly, it's ball bonkers. So and it goes on. I won't read it out. But when Dave went, what? I was like, Dave, yeah, that was my. I would have gone, what the?
Huh?
Anyway,
come again.
Grassley learned over the past decade, FINRA referred 19 complaints about suspicious trades at SAC to federal regulators. Curious to see how many of those referrals have been looked into. Grassley wrote to the SEC on May the 24th asking for evidence that the agency had properly investigated the cases. 2 weeks later, on June 9th, Kasumi sent Grassley a surprising brusque answer. We generally do not comment on the status of investigations or related referrals, and in turn are not providing information concerning the specific FINRA referrals you identified. Translation: we're not giving you the records, so blowers. This is a senator. This is the senator of Iowa, and that's the response that came back to him.
No,
I mean,
go screw yourself.
I'm not being funny, but what is going on, SEC?
But they're all for transparency.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. More transparency. Okay, give people fucking records and freedom of information. Shit.
Carry on. And that was it. That was a nice, funny one. I'm going to choose one. Unless anyone in the chat wants to choose one. I'm not quite sure if anyone's in the chat. There's a few people watching. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're going to go for the big one of the last couple of weeks, which is global thermonuclear finance meltdown.
We're all doomed.
We're all doomed.
You just can't take it, Captain.
We're
already at warp speed 7.
This one.
I need more power, Scotty. There's no more power, Captain.
You've run out of
money. The printers are fucked.
Yeah, we've run out of liquidity.
Big time. Big time. Nothing. Big
time. So on
gone. What you savings gone. Everything gone. Underpack gone.
So we've been building up to this moment for a long time, right? This moment has been coming for a long time. We knew it was coming. We all predicted it over 2 years ago. Markets were fucked.
2008. Nothing's fucking changed.
Nothing has changed since 2008. So I'm going to go straight into, well, which organization lit the fuse on all this?
How do you mean lit the fuse? Started it or?
Well, it's never gone away, right? No one started it. It's just never gone away. Who lit the fuse on the actual beginning of the meltdown? Because we're now in meltdown. We're ticking down the days until all this melts down now. And it's going to melt down, and we're right at the beginning of it. It's melting down nice and slowly. Which organization decided to lit the fuse paper on all of this?
Is it Citadel? They seem to
no
thing else.
No, it wasn't Citadel. No. Something a bit closer to home. A bit closer to home in the UK.
Cadbury's.
Oh, they make nice chocolate.
Are they not?
By the way, if Cadbury,
were they not bought by an American company, Cadbury's?
I don't know. Were they?
I don't know.
If Cadbury's would like to sponsor this podcast, then feel free to send me as much chocolate as you want. Beer and chocolate, yes. Beer and whiskey, because beer and whiskey goes quite nice together. So.
Yeah, I very nearly bought, which is nothing to do with this, but Guinness coffee. Have you seen the coffee one?
Yes.
I've not tried it yet.
Sorry, the day I've not tried it either.
Anyway, what company lit the?
It wasn't a company. It was an
organization.
A UK organization.
Okay. I don't know. German Shepherd Appreciation Society.
How dare you drag the reputation of the German Shepherd Appreciation Society down to this level? How dare you?
Magical in. I don't know what.
Well, I can't believe you must have been living under a rather large rock, Samuel.
I do. I've got a very big rock that I hide under.
It's these guys. Dun, dun, dun.
The Bank of England.
The bank. There is a pigeon in your bank.
Good evening, madam.
Oh,
What have you
Jack,
done? What the Bank of England done, Col?
where have you been the last 2 weeks?
I'm playing along, Col. This is my character.
Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry. Well, let me tell you, Sam, what happened. Actually, let me start at the beginning.
Are we sitting comfortably? Then we should begin.
Well, you should not be sitting comfortably because this is not a comfortable story. So the Bank of England had to intervene 2 weeks ago in something that happened. So the Conservative Party, which is the ruling party in the UK currently, not for long, I don't think.
No, I doubt it as well.
Is basically decided that there was going to be anarchy, and they kicked out good old Boris Fuzzy Hair, and put in a new Conservative leader who has a name of Liz Truss. The irony in her name is
I don't think there's a T on the end. It's just Truss, isn't it?
Trust. Yeah, the irony of her name and the way I've just pronounced it is
trussed up. She's all tied up in a bondage kind of way.
Wow, that is not a. That is not
like that. I don't know.
No, well, I don't.
Allegedly, she's.
I don't like. You put the vision in my head now. I don't like that vision.
What about Boris being all tied up?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
hog-tied at the end of your bed
with his hair all tied up in it as well. Anyway, to cut to the chase on this, the Conservative Party decided to put some guy called Quasi, which I thought was a character from Octonauts, in charge. It might as well be, because he's done just as good enough job. To the Octopod, dun, 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 dun. And they all ran down the corridor together, and Quasi's like, "Aye, Captain, let's crash the economy." That's what happened. So Quasi decided to crash the economy. So what he did is, apparently, someone was telling me that there was a permanent undersecretary. So this is like the number 2 within the Treasury, and Quasi wandered in there with his eye patch, and and he said, "Oh, you sensible guy that's been here for 15 years and has kept this country afloat and has kept it nice and steady from a Treasury perspective. Get out."
Yeah, mate. Get your budgie and feck off.
Yeah, get your budgie and exactly, and go. So this guy that has basically kept the British economy in a really stable place and done an amazing job, was told to sling his hook. So he was basically marched off the premises, told to bugger off. And Quasi brought his gang in and completely fucked up a mini budget, which then crashed the market so hard in the UK and the currency that the Bank of England had to step in. And
man, the fuck you playing at, bro? You just fucked the economy up, innit, mate? Get your old guy back. And Quasi's like, not a chance, bro. I'm here now. I'm doing it. And the Bank of England like, Quasi, mate, we got to make a compromise there. Get the other guy back, and he can tell you a little bit, but you can still be the face. You can still have the cred, mate, innit? And he's like, not a fucking chance, mate. That's actually what happened. I've seen the truth.
That is exactly what happened. Exactly that. That's exactly what happened. So the British government decided that they were going to pump a lot of their debt back into the market. So they were like, right, we're going to cut tax. We're going to do that. We're going to become really popular with everyone. We're going to be down with the cool kids. And what actually turned out is that they're actually letting off the rich more than anything, and they cut a bit of tax every night. No, it went down like a lead balloon. But they also put debt back into the debt system. So they went and borrowed more money, and they dropped some of their debt into the bonds and gilts for people to buy. Now, what happens is one of the largest buyers of gilts and bonds in the market are pension companies, so people that own your pension. And they turned around and went, right, hang on a second, we've bought a lot of this debt from you, and we're holding that because, you know, you're paying us nice interest on this, and we're gonna keep all of that. But now there's a lot more debt that's out on the market that people could buy, which basically decreases the value of the debt they've bought. Right, so the value of the debt they've got isn't worth what it was, and it doesn't work for them anymore. So they've gone, right, we don't really want this debt anymore. Who can we give it to? And everyone looking around, and nobody wants to buy this debt. So they're basically carrying all this risk, and they don't want to carry this risk. So they're like, shit,
Said, "Oh, so mate, your pensions have gone."
There's a pigeon in your vault and it is stolen your pension. So the pensions were going to implode. Pensions are going to implode because there was no well, basically not liquidity, but there was no value to what they held, and the pension value was dropping. That's why everyone's pensions dropped over the last few weeks. Anyway,
and the housing market's screwed.
Well, yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. Yep. But so the Bank of England stepped in and said, right, we'll buy that debt from you.
No, Col, an accent. Come on. Give the Bank of England a personality. Bring them to life for the listeners.
What personality would you like me to bring my life with?
Mate, it's up to you. You're telling the story. Bank of England.
Whatever I do, I'm going to insult. I'm going to insult either a demographic.
This is what we do. We insult people by mistake, by being daft, not through racism or any ill-conceived nastiness. It's just because we're dopey. I'm going to do
from Cornwall. I'm going to do
my lover.
All right, my lover. I'm going to buy all the debt from you so you don't implode. How would you like those onions?
Oh, you like those onions, right? What you would prefer though is a nice big pint of pumpy scrap. Nice
pumpy scrap.
Scrumpy pop. Pumpy scrap. That's a bit different. I've got my words mixed up, didn't I? But I can't afford it now because I've got no fucking money, and the cider is really expensive. So
we've got money. I've just printed £65 billion worth of money for you to give to you to bail you out. How's that?
Unfortunately, my pint of cider in my local is now 65.5 billion.
I'll just have to end up being that at some stage.
Yeah. And you're going to have to go home and suck a rock.
Drink beer while you can, or it's too expensive.
Yeah, that's what we condone.
So Bank of England went, right, we're going to generate £65 billion. Now, Sam, where did this money come from?
Out of my ass.
It might as well have done, because that's pretty much where it came from. It came from the magic money machine. Apparently, somebody said it came out of an emergency fund or something. Apparently, that's absolute shit.
AKA pensions.
They just magically made up the money to basically buy the debt from the pension firms. And guess what?
It's fucked.
The pension companies didn't like them doing that and didn't take them up on it. You know why?
Because it's fucked.
Well, first of all, because it's fucked. So that's the first one. The second reason why they didn't do it was because the Bank of England didn't offer enough money for them. They thought they basically, the pension companies got greedy and went, that ain't enough for my debt. I need you to give me some, cross my palm with silver.
What you think I'm worth?
Exactly. And the Bank of England said, no, we're not doing that. This is the price we'll give you, and that is what you've got. And so they didn't do that. And knowing full well that if these pensions implode, the taxpayer is going to fucking foot the bill anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And that's basically where they are.
This is exactly what happened in 2008 in the US.
No. Is that the same thing happened in 2008?
Yep. The taxpayer paid and, suffer the consequences and end up paying for it. And all the big bankers get nice big bonuses, and they all fuck off on the yachts, and it's all those little twats who are eating out of bins and fucking homeless and grimping.
So pension companies don't care because
it's not their money.
UK PLC is going to fucking bail them out again.
It's fucked.
They don't care. So anyway, earlier this week, they turned around and extended it into other gilts. So basically, they said we're going to buy more different types of debt from you
until tomorrow. Did not say it's stopping any bonds and everything. The purchase of bonds and stuff is stopping tomorrow.
That is correct. That is correct. I'll come back to that one in a second because that one is interesting, but I will come back to it. So here we go. So I saw this from Peter Ahan. Peter Ahan. He's our man. Peter Ahan. That's
his own theme tune.
Got his own theme tune now. There you go, Peter. Nice. So Peter's put warning, danger, Will Robinson, danger. To my UK friends, I'm sorry, even J-Pow hasn't hashed up this bad yet. Yeah, so this is from Zero Hedge. So at Zero Hedge or zerohedge.com, go and visit the website. It's very good. Bank of England to global markets. You got 3 days to sell all your shit, basically.
Right, my lover, you have 3 days to sell all of the things. All those pretty things you ain't like. You've got to sell them.
Sell them.
Single one of them.
Sell them all. I'll buy them all for a
turnips.
Crush your palm with silver.
Bad your noses.
Exactly.
The nice little trinkets you like, you know, that you've got, like golden teeth from people died a long time ago. Sell them. Sell them all.
Trust me, pirate, palm with silver. I've gone full pirate. Anyway, that was it. So as of tomorrow, the Bank of England are gonna get all their silver and take it away again. And if these pension companies haven't offloaded their debt to the Bank of England, then yeah, the shit is going to hit the fan.
Gone.
Shit is going to hit that fan.
It's fucked up.
But the bit that I picked up on. So this is me. So at Handed Diamond. Not only did they extend the type of debt they were going to buy, what they also did is, I'll read it out. 10th of October, the bank announced, this is from the Bank of England, by the way, the bank announced additional measures to support market function and an orderly end to its gilt purchase scheme. These included the launch of a temporary expanded collateral repo facility. Now, where have we seen this before? Anything the US can do, we can do better.
Yeah. If we hit 2.5 trillion the first day, then yeah, we've smashed it. Fuck you, America. We can smash things up even worse. Go on, we could do it, England. Let's do 2.5 trillion first day we do it.
It's called the Tuck Roof. The Tuck Roof. Through which banks will be able to help to ease liquidity pressures facing their client LDI funds through liquidity insurance operations and the expansion of its scale its remaining gilt purchase auctions. Basically, they've created a reverse repo in the UK. So now we have reverse repo
to hide shit.
It's like
fucking knobs.
It's like you need punching, but I'm gonna just pull it back just before I punch you. I'm not gonna quite punch you. I'm just gonna pretend to punch you and then hold back a little bit. There you go. So not only did we
massive big shit stain, and to hide that shit stain, they're rubbing shit on it.
Rubbing shit on the shit stain. That's exactly what they're doing.
To cover the shit. It's just
now the thing is, we don't have the same amount of liquidity the American government has, right? We're not the Fed, right? We don't have anything in the scale of the Fed. The numbers are very different. Now they have zeros on everything compared to what we do, if not 2 zeros. So it's very different. This will be very different. What this actually means with regards to, I'm guessing they'll do exactly what the other reverse repo is, which is that they'll lend money out overnight, allow them to pay debt and interest off, charge an interest themselves, and then hand the money back. Mm-hmm. And so it's basically it's whacking the crocodiles as they enter the canoe. That's what reverse repo is, right? So that happened, which was really interesting. And then no one else liked that. So then there was a whole sort of oh shit, the pound's in trouble. Because by the way, the pound has crashed dramatically. It's now 1-for-1 with the dollar. It's 1-for-1 with the dollar. I've never ever seen that. And I think this is the lowest it's ever been against the dollar ever. But I mean, the dollar's like this anyway, and the pound's doing this, but also the pound's shooting down quite quickly, but so is the Australian dollar, so is the Canadian dollar. They're all heading down. Anyway, no one liked this. So Peter Lewis in Hong Kong at Money Talk R3 breaking Hong Kong's Hang Seng, which is their index, drops below 17,000 for the first time since May 2009.
Wow.
More than 13 years of stock market gains wiped out. Wow. Ouch.
Go.
Ouch. So let me, that's not the only thing that's happened, obviously.
Wow. Come on, Col. Get to it. Come on.
This is imploding. This is not going in the right way. Yeah. Indiana Joe at Joe 676358848. AMC, checkmate AMC stock. All American people, you've lost over 25% of your 401k savings, basically pension. in 6 months. This is not pocket change. This is trillions. And Gasparino recently tweeted Citadel is up 29%. Ken Griffin himself makes billions a year. Now, so what conclusion do you make from that? The whole market loses loads of money, and apparently Citadel's up 29%. So what are they up to? How can they make money and no one else can? Seems a bit bizarre.
Because they're incredibly clever and they know how things work, and they're just very good investors.
Indeed.
No, that's all lies. They're crooks.
It is all lies. They're all lies and crooks. And then
because of not played it yet, but because of what, Col?
Oh. Have you got it? Have you got it there?
It's crime and lies. Crime and lies. It ain't no thing. Can it lies? It's crime and lies. Crime and lies. It's crime and lies. Can it lies? It's crime and lies. Crime and lies.
It's crime and lies, mate.
Yes.
Crime and lies. And then our boss, but once Sir Marcel put stock market IMF calling for volatility in bad market conditions. No shit. The IMF warns of an increased risk of rapid disorderly repricing in financial markets, which is exacerbated. Thank you. By existing vulnerabilities and a lack of liquidity. Note the word lack of liquidity. We know there's no liquidity. And that is why they have been tanking the shit out of AMC and Ape for the last 2 weeks, because they are fucked.
Yeah.
They're fucked. And Ape plays a massive part in that fuckness because they can't do anything with it. They can do nothing with it.
Zero results, nada.
Nothing with it.
Well, I think that although the global thermonuclear financial meltdown is quite a huge thing, and we could talk about it all night. We've been on for an hour and 2. We've not done it at 5 in 5 yet.
This made me laugh. Sorry, I'm just going to finish on that. So this is from at Financial Juice. Go on, I'll let you do the accent.
Look at me. I am the guild market now. I don't know how to do Somali and pirate.
Look at me. I am the guild market now. He did quite a good job.
Every pirate has to say "arr."
Arr at the end.
Arr.
Arr. Dude.
Look at me.
Arr.
I'm the guild market now.
Can I borrow your pen again?
Oh, God.
I keep losing it. I need to write stuff down.
I go the wrong way every time because my camera's backwards. There you go, mate.
Thanks, mate.
You got it?
Cheers, yeah. It's good, thanks.
This gag, we could take it. We could do beers. We could do,
we could.
We could Ketamin to one another. It'd be great.
Every week now. Right.
Moon sperm, whatever.
We've done grassed up. We've done Ketamin. We've done. I'm not going to do pensions. You don't need pensions. Or maybe you should. Should we very quickly mention it because it was a big thing that got announced a few weeks ago that came live.
Yeah.
Today, was it?
Basically, have you got a pension? Yeah, right, it's fucking gone. You've not got it anymore. Because the SEC raised the cap on what the OCC can use for defaults. So
that is right. That is right. So I'm going to bring up Gazzo on the screen because he was very proud when he said
look at that, 2 twats in one.
Pair of twats. Here's Gary. Gary says, Gary Gensler, I am pleased to support today's proposal rules regarding treasury clearing because if adopted, they'll be able to make a vital part of our capital markets more efficient, competitive, resilient, and steal your pension.
Yeah.
Today's proposal concerns expanded central clearing in the treasury cash and repo markets. Basically, they've run out of money in the repo markets and they need to find more liquidity from somewhere to do that. So they're going to go and trash your pension. They're going to trash your pension to keep the banks afloat. Now, if that doesn't make you angry and upset, I don't know what is.
Because when the banks go down, your pension is gone.
Exactly. Which have transaction volumes ranging from 3 trillion weekly in the cash markets and approaching to an average of 4 trillion daily. 4 trillion daily in the repo markets. Broadly speaking, the proposal would put forward changes in 2 areas: the scope of what is cleared and a set of reforms relating to customer clearing. What does that actually mean? So let's put this into context. So this is from AMC Tattooed Mermapes at RigGov. Goodbye, teachers.
Good evening,
Good evening, madame.
Yes, I love her tweets. I read them a lot.
I read them a lot too. Goodbye, teachers and nurses' pension funds. That's $35 trillion fund the SEC approved yesterday will not be enough. We are holding for AMC 20K, AMC 100K, drain the country and blame it on the apes. But always remember, they made the bet. Abso-fucking-lutely. Ken Griffin, can I borrow some money to cover government?
How much do you need, Kenny?
Not much, like 60 trillion.
$60 million.
Such an annoying
Just say cunt.
cunt. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
And there you go. So, and bosses here again. They can increase the amount from $3 billion to every penny in pensions without needing to file an advance notice. They can dip into your pension and steal it to prop up the financial markets and banks.
Mm-hmm.
How does everyone feel about that? Because I think that's pretty shit.
Charge you money on loaning your fucking pension back to you when you need it.
It's all fucked up, isn't it? It's all fucked up.
Totally.
That's pensions done.
It needs. We need to have a huge crash where a lot of these banks go down, and we don't want the surviving banks picking up the pieces and buying people out. It needs to be decentralized. It needs, it's not working. How can you have a self-regulated industry like that, which is just raping every financial sector?
I totally agree, and I have to just add to this that and I've not put it on here, and I wish I had done now, but there's a list of about 6 banks, global banks that are struggling, are in a very bad way. Yeah. Credit Suisse being one of them. Credit Suisse is in not a good place.
The rumors were they were going down. Was it last weekend that social media was aflame with Credit Suisse rumors?
And everyone was digging up all the old dirt on them.
Yeah,
there was some dirt around,
of which there is much.
Well, they were money laundering cocaine money.
Yeah,
in Bulgarian cocaine money. That was a classic one.
I've been to Bulgaria and I couldn't find cocaine for love nor money. I really tried.
That's because Credit Suisse has got it all in their bank vaults. Yeah. There's cocaine in your bank vaults, madam.
Yeah. The
so
pigeon in your bank vault is high as fuck.
Credit Suisse.
It's not landed for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Cocaine has given the pigeon more confidence than it ever thought. He thinks he's a golden eagle.
Yeah. Oh dear. So Credit Suisse. I read an article yesterday, and I can't remember who it was from, but it was explaining that the Federal Reserve had broken rules and had bailed out a bank.
Really?
I think it was Citibank. They'd given something like $35 billion to rescue them. Basically, it broke the what was the act they brought in after 2008? The Frank Dobb Act, is it?
Oh, I don't know. It could be.
I think it's a Frank Dobb Act.
Many different acts that no one pays attention to.
Yeah, exactly. The act that was meant to save us from ourselves again, and guess what? It hasn't fucking worked because no one's adhered to the rules or enforced them. SEC. Anyway, speaking of the last point I got on the screen here, how big is BBIG? Well, let me show you. Let me show you what happened.
How big you are.
Let me show what happened. So this is from Business at BizTB. BizTB. Big. 5% on the exchange. Vinco was listed for price impact. 92.17% of all trades for BBIG yesterday went through a dark pool. 92.17% of trades. Now getting priced for the ATS dark pool and FR exchanges. Both have been exposed for fuckery. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Mr. Transparency Gary Gensler. This is not fucking transparency. This is a smokescreen bigger than...
It's not even smokescreen. They're not even trying to hide it. How can you put 92% of trades through a dark pool and expect people not to notice?
92%.
They do not care. They don't care because nothing's going to happen to them. They might get a little fanny and fine that no one cares about and is pocket change. And so, why not stick a fucking 100% through? Just do it all. Nobody's going to do anything.
Exactly.
Crack on, lads. Fucking, screw us over the best you can because we're coming for you. And if this all goes tits up, there'll be riots. If you crash anything, people would take to the streets and burn fucking banks down.
We obviously don't condone rioting or anything like that, but I honestly, before we came on air, I said to Sam, I think the only way this is going to change if people take to the streets and have a good old, not a riot, protest, have a good old friendly. We're not going to break into
social gathering on massive scale.
Like yeah,
where when we're all cold, we use people's cars and police cars and buildings for kindling to keep warm. Just saying. Not inciting violence. Just saying.
This podcast does not incite violence against the US government or any government. But I do think we might need to take to the streets with some placards that says Gary Gensler is a cunt. I think that
yeah.
I think that will help.
If we get every ape out there with Gary Gensler is a cunt, 3 million placards all saying that, people can't ignore it.
No, it's difficult to ignore, isn't it? Gary Gensler as a cunt is difficult to ignore. And also Ken Griffin lied is another one that we obviously want to get there. And we should probably get Cat to drive a electronic signers. As well.
Yeah. So we want Gary Gensler is a cunt and Ken Griffin is a piss flap.
Why not?
There we go, yeah.
Why not? In fact, let me just add that in. Ken
Cunts and piss flaps
is a piss flap. I think that's where we're gonna end the that's where we're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show on Ken Griffin is a piss flap.
Yeah. Do you think we can get it trending for next week?
Why not?
Oh, I've got to go. One of my kids is crying, so wrap it up, Cole.
I've
been having night terrors recently, and he gets really upset. So
mine went through that as well of a certain age. Right? Okay, I'm actually going to play the 5 in 5 because that's where we are, and then I'm going to end the show.
It's time for 5 in 5. Yes, it's time for 5 in 5.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye. And I'm going. I've got to nip off. Thank you very much, guys. Laters. That was Sam saying goodbye. Follow Sam at Sam Big Hair, and then come and follow me at Handed Diamond. Hope you enjoyed the show, enjoyed the podcast. Come visit us at podcastape.com and all that other great stuff. And we will see you all very soon. Goodbye.